Having problems with my stream.
I don't think we're readying up yet anyways.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be anyways. I sent you the link.
Huh?
I sent you the link.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. Welcome everyone to the LSR Grand Prix. We are back with the Group 2 stream here today at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're here at the Bahrain International Circuit for another race here in lightning speed racing. Today, like I mentioned, we're here around the Bahrain International Circuit, which is located in Bahrain, which is just off the Persian Gulf. In terms of the track, we got an amazing circuit that has hosted Formula One races in the real life since 2004. It's got 15 turns to make up a circuit length of 5.4 kilometers. That's 0.3 miles long. There's a lot of opportunities to make an overtake for around here, and there's 3 DRS zones to help improve overtaking. The one being down into turn 1. And that's going to be the best place to make an overtake. The second in between turn 3 and turn 4, and the third in between turn 10 and turn 11. So, guys, let's not waste any more time with the information on the track. Let's get into this Grand Prix, and you're probably joining us a little confused into why we're in this loading screen right now. Well, a session as we get the lobby underway, we're about to do the one-shot qualifying, and then a 25% race, then a 50% race, and that means we'll be in a sprint race, our second ever sprint race in Group 2 of LSR. But before we get this race underway, let's introduce the comp team. It's myself, Formula Jonah, and joining me in the commentary booth for the first time in LSR is Pyro. Welcome to the commentary booth as we get this one-shot quali underway. Can you just give us all your thoughts before we get the race underway?
Hi, thank you. One-shot quality it's a determination of skill, because it's one lap instead of a short qualifying, which you get 18 minutes to do however many laps as possible to get the best time. But one shot, there's no room for mistakes if you want to get pole.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be a test of skill, you know, for all these drivers out there on track. It's going to be a really intense race with a lot of drivers looking to get a good result in today's Bahrain Grand Prix. So, as we did mention earlier on, we have a sprint qualifying format. So what's going to be happening is we're going to head into a one-shot quali, and then the drivers will get ready for a 25% race, which is going to be around 14 laps here at the Bahrain International Circuit. But I'm going to let Pyro take the wheel here, and he's going to be taking a look at one of our drivers and covering the commentary for the one shot. And this does mean that our drivers will only get one opportunity to make a lap, to set a lap time to set the grid for the sprint race. So, Pyro, take it away.
Alright, so we are going to be watching over the championship leader, Elian, and we'll see how he does if he can get pole. So I need to find him on the grid, actually. If I can find him before we get into turn 1. There he is. And we'll go on board with him, go into turn 1, Late braking zone, hits the apex quite nice, trying to get a good exit, going into turn 3, make sure not to spin the car and not go wide as well. Good exit down in P15 at the moment, not the best turn 1, as Senna 13 does in the lead right now. Going into turn 4, hits the curb a bit, doesn't get the best exit he would want. Now riding the curb, will want to miss this curb. They miss this curb again. Now going into turn 8. Want to get that good exit, not getting much wheel spin. Now coming for turn 9 and 10. A very, very tricky corner, especially if you use no ABS. Trying to get a good exit. Now, second DRS zone open. Coming in turn 11 now. Up to P4, so it's a very good comeback for the championship leader. Just hitting the curb a tiny bit now, trying to get a good exit. Making sure not to hit this inside curb, otherwise you will spin the car. Now to turn 13 around the corner, just hit this curb a tiny bit, get a good exit, don't run wide. Now coming up to the final corner, turn 15, where the exit matters and so does the entrance. Riding the curb, trying to hit the apex tiny bit. Now full throttle up to the DRS. He is P2. I do not think he'll be able to get P1, but it is P2 for Elian, and it is P1 for Big Baguette with a 126.6. Just 300 separating P1 and P2. Then another 10th,
wow.
Another round of 10th for P3.
Impressive stuff from all our drivers here today. Wow, that was absolutely intense. Thank you so much for commentating on that onboard of Elian buying a very good lap, but it wasn't enough for the fastest time. But he does start second fastest for the championship leader. It is Big Baguette on top by 2/100ths of a second, followed by Elian Bine and Colette in the Alfa Romeo. Now, Big Baguette and Colette are both reserving in Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. Also, great result for the two Red Bulls. They sit 4th and 5th on the grid. What an amazing qualifying session that truly was. Now we head in to the sprint race.
Yeah. Let's say the two Belgian drivers, obviously in a 1-2 right now. So Belgium are doing quite good. I think Elian will have the advantage going into turn 1, being on the inside, I believe, for P2. On the inside, and also into around about hairpin, maybe like a 100-degree corner. But I think he will have the advantage if he gets that launch off of the start. As we see JCK qualified on the mediums, and he got P8, which is quite impressive actually, compared to everyone else on the softs besides P14 and P17, I think. But it looks like he was going to alternate strategy, which I think is very, very good on this track, because the softs are very powerful but do die very quickly.
Yes, they absolutely do. It is a very Ferrari driver. He's a new Ferrari driver as he just is jumping into the car, so showing that he's got some pace, I think. I mean, on those medium compound tires, like you mentioned, he was up there with the soft runners, and he's looking quite good up at the front of the field. So we'll see how that all works out for all the drivers on the grid on the alternate strategies. And yeah, we mentioned earlier on that the degradation is quite high for rounds here, even though it is only a 14-lap race. I know you probably have raced the Bahrain Grand Prix quite a bit. So what's your experience in terms of tire wear on this track, and what similarities would you maybe give to some of these drivers out on the grid here today?
The tire wear is very inconsistent. I think that's one thing that Bahrain is weird with the tire wear. Because the softs, I think they will go off around 4 to 5 laps in, but then you can take them to around lap 8 or 9. The strategies differ, because sometimes you can go a soft medium. Like personally, I went about 18 or 19 laps on the mediums, which you're not supposed to do, but it worked. Like, this track is very, very inconsistent with tyre wear. It's just depending. I think the setup is a massive deal with this track.
Yeah, absolutely, I gotta agree with you on that one. I think the setup is a huge point in today's race. Whatever setup you're going to have is going to be crucial for your results going into this Grand Prix. It's going to be quite astonishing to see what these drivers grid in terms of tire wear as well. That the setup could affect tire wear, as we have been mentioning. So we'll see how it all works out. But we're ready to get this race underway.
I didn't realise Flea was in here. I know him. I think that's the only driver I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe he is. He's quite quick. The new McLaren driver. He has joined the league now, and he's in McLaren. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can do. Quite a lot of differences in terms of the driver transfers. We have Flea going to McLaren, JC to Ferrari, Headspace to Haas, and then we have a few others on the grid that have changed as well in terms of the driver lineups. But before we get this race underway, any more thoughts before we head into the official sprint race?
Not really. I guess all I'm gonna say, just try and keep it clean, as two drivers just get disqualified on the final little straight. But yeah, just keep it clean. I mean, it's a qualifying. It is a qualifying, right, for the 50% race. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's a
so
official qualifying because.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I guess track position on this track isn't crucial. So all I'm gonna say is just keep it clean and try to get the highest position you can. I wouldn't go for pole if you're starting where Luke is, or like from P7 to P10. You wouldn't want to go for pole as much as you wanted to. But I think JC has a very, very good chance of doing really good in this race, getting maybe up to top 5. Alright, well, take it away.
Alright, let's see how this all works out. The fiber lights out, and away we go for the sprint race here today in Bahrain. It's fiber lights out, and it's racing here today in LSR. It's a great start for the front two, even better start for Big Baguette. Great start for A7, who's challenging the third place driver Colette. Down into turn 1 we go, and they're 3 wide coming down to the first turn. Keep it clean, boys, as we come down.
Wow.
And it is great racing between the 3 there as they continue on. Ellie and Bayan down to P5. It's A7 now trying to challenge Colette down into turn 1, into turn 4. Big Baguette leads as we have A7 on a flyer around the outside of the Alfa Romeo. Coming down into turn 6 we go. They're side by side, but Colette just about gets ahead, but he gets a bad exit out of that section.
Wow, that was brilliant on the first 3 corners. And yeah, ASN around the outside on that turn 4 almost made the move, but turn 5, 6 and 7 is not where you want to go side by side. That will not end well. But Ellie not getting the best start they would have wanted to. Flea up to P5, and JC holding position and also gaining one, which is what he wants to stay and also be the faster driver at the end of the race. Really. We'll go
that was
to
a good start
position
for
changes.
JC. He's up to P7 on those medium tires, so that's looking pretty good for him. And I gotta agree, I think Ellie and Bayan didn't have the greatest starts here. He is looking to come back though, as he's using a lot of power to pass
Senna has no
now.
ERS. Nothing. He has nothing.
Oh, how did that happen so
and
quickly?
Flea might be able to overtake. I think he just used it all going through turn for the off the launch through turn 3 to turn 4 and turn 10 and turn 11. That's where you mostly use ERS. But yet Flea coming on the inside of Senna. We will try to get on board if this camera wants to fix itself, but they're still side by side.
Ooh,
and Flea having to back out. But here comes the Aston Martin of Zerza. For turn 4, Flea goes really wide, trying to give as much space as possible. Zerza doesn't take the racing line. Actually, Flea's going to try to go by side. We're going deep once again, still side by side. Zerza having to lift off, having the inside line going into turn 8. But Flea trying to keep it on his rear axle. And here comes the Ferrari of JC. Just trying to pick up on this battle, including the Red Bull and the Williams. Quite close behind us. Flea has to go off track, and we'll lose out.
Contact.
Yeah, it looks like
a little bit of contact
Vapor.
there.
We'll get Flea as well on the inside line.
Yeah, Vapor's looking to make the move on the McLaren driver. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. There was a little bit of contact between Azurka and not Sir Vapor. Azurka and Flea there. Looks like there's no damage, though, to either.
Yeah, but JC has picked up on the battle very, very well, up into P5 now. Looks like he took advantage of every single thing that was going on, which is very, very good from him. Flea losing out the most on this battle though, which is very unfortunate, but DRS now is enabled and he's looking for a move on Vapor. Using a lot of ERS. Vapor goes defensive, round the outside goes Flea. They make the move, now the inside line for turn 3, trying to keep it on track, and Vapor does go wide to keep that position. But DRS is for Flea right now. Oh, both of them actually.
Yeah, both have DRS, and also here comes Ace Senna and JC. JC's made another move, but Ace Senna's coming back at the Ferrari as well. They're side by side between the two drivers.
This is brilliant
and
racing.
They keep it brilliant, right? This is incredible. Azuka's now getting in the action as well. The Aston Martin's trying to get on the back of these guys as well. Meanwhile, the battle for 7th place continuing as Flea almost makes a mistake. Coming down into turning, he saves the car, which is very great to see from Flea there.
JC hits the back of Senna, but did not get damaged, just hit the back of him, tapped him. But luckily, no damage there. But I think the softs will start to maybe go down a bit now, but I know in the 25% there's yellow flag in turn 8. I think that is the Alpha Tauri of, Tobias.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the softs, because it's 25%, the softs won't die as quick, I don't think. Or it might be the opposite way around. So I know in 100% that you can actually do quite a lot of laps on the softs because the tyre wear is a bit different for the game. But I think it might be the complete opposite for 25%, so the softs might be dying already. And it looks like JC has got the pace to overtake Senna with a DRS. And here he goes from an easy pass. Senna not going defensive.
Oh, is Asuka going to try it too? Here comes Asuka on Ace Senna as well.
Oh, there's a bit of contact. And there goes Senna.
Yeah, and what happened there? It looks like Ace Senna and Asuka made contact, and Ace Senna was spun around there. That's unfortunate for the two drivers there. Asuka makes a little bit of contact with Flea, taps the car just a little bit there, but looks like it's all good. But unfortunate to see Ace Senna spinning around there as he's down to P14 now.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But Tobias is now retired.
Yeah.
That means 2 retirements in this race, but no safety cars. See, we did right on the pits. And Flea struggling on turn 10 once again. And Asuka has now got DRS and ERS, will make the overtake. Maybe clean laps. That's Flea. Looks to be good on outbraking his opposition. Go for a little switchback. Asuka leaving a lot of space. Hopefully no spins. He's the yellow flag of... Don't know who spun actually.
Might have been Optics down in P15. Not exactly sure, but it's all good.
There's a bit of battle going with Senna. Senna already trying to get back through the field. He does not have wing damage, which is very fortunate for him, but now he will lose out. I think he'll lose out on this battle through the straight now. Both on no ERS whatsoever, not really using it well. But yeah, I think merge. That's how you say it, I don't know. Will get the overtake, he does, very clean cut overtake, but we'll go back to the front of the field, maybe midfield, as another battle goes on with Flea. Always coming to this battle, as JC moves up to P3, overtaking Vapor.
Oh, good move from the Ferrari. He's making a lot of moves in today's race. That's great to see.
And he's still got to go on the softs.
JC. Exactly.
He still does have to go on the softs. I think the pit window will be probably coming on now in the next 1 or 2 laps because the softs will not be great right now. So JC will want to make as much time as possible on Elian and Baguette. As Elian just about is 3 seconds behind Baguette. That time has been lost through maybe the 2nd sector, I think.
Yeah, I think Elian Bine is now starting to chase after Big Baguette, which is great to see from the Williams driver. We'll see how that battle forms, and JC might start chasing after those guys as well. Could we see that Ferrari on the top step of the podium? We will find out how that all works out. But the battle for 5th is getting quite intense here. Asuka, Colette, and Flea. I think Colette maybe just drop back a little bit as he's down to P5 now. He was in P3 as Elian Bine is into the pit lane. The second place driver comes into the pit lane.
And so does Cole. Yeah, I'll say that. Luke moves up to P6, P5 now. Yeah, 3 boxes so far with a soft tyre, so I think it is around here. You don't really want to go more than halfway of a 25% race on soft, so you want to make the mediums do the work, but towards the end it might help you.
Exactly. Yep. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this all works out in terms of the tire strategy here. It's Luke Tourette and Vincenski having their battle for P5 in today's race. The Alpha and the Williams. Remember, Williams is leading the Constructors' Championship here, so keep an eye on that. But they continue their battle. They are.
As does make the overtake, actually. It was a very nice overtake. As I think JC will box around lap 9 or 10. There's a yellow flag. Senna does come out final place in 16th.
Oh dear. But to be honest, I mean, Senna, we've seen him like there was I think it was Imola last time out, round 4. He got the tire strategy wrong or something like that, and then he completely just like made so many overtakes in that race and finished 3rd in that race. He was at the back of the field.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It's incredible to see his work. So we'll see how it all works out. And of course, this is not the drivers that have retired and drivers that are not in the best positions. This is not the official race. We're still in the sprint race here, and we still have an official race to go once after the sprint race finishes. Of course, also something to keep an eye on as well as we see Big Baguette and Not So Vapor coming into the pit lane is that there is points awarded for these drivers here today, and that is particularly for the top 5, as the max amount of points you're going to get is first position 6 points, the second place is 4 points, third is 3 points, 4 is 2 points, and 5th is 1 point.
Yeah, as I think the undercut strategies, I think, is very powerful in this track because of tyre wear. So I think if you stay out one more lap, it's going to cause a lot of time to be lost. As Elian, that's just to be proven. Elian has gained around 2 seconds just from pitting. He's right behind Baguette, the net leader, with JC trying to make as many positions as possible with the overcut on the medium tyre. Looking for that soft
that undercut
strategy.
Worked really well for Elian. He's now 1.1 seconds behind, which is great to see. His headspace has just let, I think, Not So Vapor and Colette go by, so interesting to see that. Also, we had Flea spinning off there. Unfortunate to see that from the McLaren
We've got another battle going on through turn 10 as Colette goes down the inside. Vapor with a switchback. That is very, very nice. Colette does go off track by accident, but here he comes back again on Vapor. Oh, ooh, just nearly missing out on the rear wing. I don't know what happened there, but I think Vapor did move way too late. That was very good reaction time from Colette.
Yeah, a little too much defense there from Not So Vapor. Looks like he was going to defend the line, but I think it was a little bit too late from the Red Bull driver. Colette will have the opportunity to make the move on the Red Bull once again. Yeah. As Elian Bynes is the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He is gaining so much time on Big Baguette as Zagdictus takes the lead of the Grand Prix.
JC's already boxed. So he's looking to go about 6 laps on the soft tyre, which I don't think will help him towards the end. As Zagdictus does stay out on the medium tyre, so he's looking for another lap or 2 on the mediums. But how far is he behind with JC? He's around 5 seconds behind, 4 seconds behind Elian and Baguette. But Baguette is losing Elian, which is, well, that's what Baguette is looking for. He's looking to lose Elian right now and maybe get himself a win. Get himself a couple points, then start pole for the 50% race.
This would be great for Big Baguette, who has reserved 4 in the league, hasn't been able to score a point yet in the league, but this would be great for him to score a max amount of 6 points in today's race and start on pole like you mentioned. So that would be great for him. And also, I think they're just having some fun right now. Of course, the sprint race is for points as well, and Elian needs the points, because his 2 championship rivals, Hella High and Electric Envy, won't be scoring any points in today's current session, as Electric Envy's out of the session and Hella High is not racing today. So Elian needs the points in today's race, as Zagdictus comes into the pit lane from the race lead, and he will most likely come out where his teammate, I do believe, is.
As JC is making up a hell of a lot of time to Elian and Baguette on the softs, but the safety car. Oh, I just missed it. It is Asterisk Optics has crashed at turn 14. Huh? He's crashed at the entrance turn 14. I'm guessing he hit the wall and spun over there. Must have spun, hit the inside wall. But it looks like to be on, like, I think turn 12 crash. Yeah.
That makes sense. Unfortunate to see the McLaren driver out of this session. Of course, he'll have another opportunity in just a few minutes' time once the sprint ends. Yeah, unfortunate to see that. But that has allowed for a full course safety car to come out on track. And I gotta say, this is absolutely perfect for JC, as he's gonna be right in the back of Big Baguette and Elian.
Yeah. and he's on a soft tyre as well. So the time he needed to make is already been made for him. All he needs to do is make the overtakes, and maybe wait for a bit of DRS. Might be a last lap DRS battle, you never know. But that has not helped Baguette or Elian whatsoever.
Yeah, it has not. I think this is exactly what those two drivers did not need. But to be honest, they can still win this race. They have some time to be able to hold back JC. It's just going to be really difficult to do so. So we'll see how it all works out. But, I mean, the mediums compared to the softs, I think the softs are definitely faster. But do you think it is possible for the two race leaders to defend against that charging Ferrari?
It's depending how fast his softs die. That's what it all is, but JC looks to have the pace on them. He's only been on for them for 2 laps. Coming up to the 3rd lap now. But I think with this safety car, that's going to help his tyres a lot. He can take his time going towards the safety car like he is right now, save them soft tyre and get the charge on. And everyone now will be on full ERS for the final 2-3 laps when the safety car ends. So we're going to see a lot of battles going on for these positions, qualifying positions for the 50-cent race, where all the points are gained for the championship.
Yes, most definitely. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see what this, how this ends up. You know, where everyone will be starting. I think that's going to be big as well. All the drivers that just pit for the soft. This is huge for them. Zagdiktas, Vacant, JCK, others as well. All onto the soft compound tires, and they're going to be flying through the field on the medium compound runners. I predict that we're going to get a lot of defense from all the medium compound runners. We're going to get a lot of overtakes from the soft runners, and that is going to equal out to a very exciting end to this sprint race that we have here in LSR.
Yep. Completely agree with that. And I think there will be a crash. There'll be one at least. I think one of the soft runners will go for an overtake that is impossible, and the medium runner will defend a bit too much. And also with the medium runner less grip than the soft runner, I don't think it'll end well on both ends. So I think there'll be one at least. And again, this track is good for overtake, but there's also a couple of corners that you can't do it on.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we'll see how it all works out. We've seen some awesome action throughout this entire field. Of course, we wish for no crashes, but of course, if there is a situation where drivers are maybe going for an overtake that's not really there, like you mentioned, and another driver defends too hard, there can be a crash. But of course, we hope that isn't true, but we will find out how this all works out as we start lap 11. The safety car will most likely again come in at the end of this lap. And there's something I quickly want to say before we move on with our sprint race and into the 50% race as well. You may see a few drivers sporting the blue, white, and black colors on their helmet designs. That is because they are supporting and just remembering Sir Frank Williams, who sadly passed away just a few weeks ago, I think, or was it a week ago? I think
it was last week. Yeah, maybe a week or two.
Wow, yeah. So yeah, you'll see a lot of drivers with that helmet design supporting Williams, you know, of course, and just remembering Sir Frank Williams, a icon of the sport, a legend of the sport. He will be dearly missed, and yeah, it's super sad. But we will move on, and we'll continue to do what he set out to do in the first place, is to have a racing team and to race. That's the whole point, and we'll continue to race, especially in his name here today. So, Big Baguette leading the Grand Prix, Elian Vine in P2, JC in P3. Now, we've talked about the top 3 for quite a while, but is there anyone else on the grid that you see might be able to get into a good podium position, or top 3, or maybe even a top 5 from, I don't know, anywhere on the grid?
Say that again, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I explained that wrong. Yeah, I think, I was just wondering, do you see anyone besides the top 3 that are going to be looking to get a good result and possibly could get a good result in today's sprint race? So maybe, for instance, Zagdiktas, maybe he could fly through the field, maybe get a top 5. Is there anyone like that you see on track?
Let me get the tyres up. I think Senna. I think Senna's going to get into the top 10. I think Visensky will as well. He'll get maybe 8th or 7th up there with the medium runners. As you can see, he has to overtake a few soft runners, but I think it's possible. He looks like a very fast driver.
All right, those are great predictions. Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. Two drivers that I think have a lot of pace and a lot of pace.
As
to
we
show.
see
So
now,
we'll see.
oh, big ass spun! Oh no!
Oh, and that's Vacant has also spun off as well. What drama on the safety car restart. The race leader has spun, and Elliot Byn takes the lead of this sprint race. What drama here in Bahrain.
My God.
Here in the sprint race.
That is very unlucky. Like I said, with a medium grip and the safety car, low temperatures on that corner is not where you want to be. As JC is going to want to be making this overtake on Elian. That is so unfortunate for Baguette. It happens to the best of us, including me, actually.
Yeah. Oh, same here. I mean, it's happened, I don't know, 6 or 7 times to me as well. It is a very difficult corner to get right, and especially, like you said, with those mediums, they don't have a lot of grip compared to the softs. So it's totally understandable.
P8.
Oh, yeah,
I think
he's
the
making a
medium
move
runners
on...
now going to be struggling on with Zedicus. And JC also wanted getting past Elian, as Elian's defending quite well on these medium tyres. Keeping up the pace with him, actually.
Yeah, he is. Oh, it's not Sir Vapor, loses the car a little bit there. That could give the opportunity for the Alfa Romeo of Colette to try and go down the inside on the Red Bull driver. It doesn't look like it's going to work out quite yet, but Vincenski did make that move on Niki Lauda, so great to see that from the Alfa Romeo driver. Also great to see a Senna right there as well. Bahrain now, and the AlphaTauri is now starting to close up on Niki Lauda. He's starting to get in here as well. You might recognize Bahrain. He's a Group 1 reserve, if I'm not mistaken, but he's running the no assists in today's race, and he's starting to come through the field, and that is Colette making a move on Sir Vapor.
I've just seen Elian. The straight line speed that Elian has got might be able to help him win this sprint qualifying. Without even using ERS, he's pulling away when JC has slipstream as well. I think that might help Elian. He's running very, very low downforce. That straight line speed is very, very good. I saw on that main straight, I think he gained about 2 or 3 tenths just from not even using the ERS.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2
for the corners, he's struggling now.
Left.
For these corners, I think turn 11, 12, 13 and 14, he will be struggling quite a bit. But DRS will be activated for the final lap of the sprint qualifying. As we see Flea making up the order as Niki Lauda does go off track as Senna makes the overtake.
Yeah, Senna up to P11 now. That's good for him. Same with Flea, but Niki Lauda's coming back at the Red Bull. Red Bull keeps ahead though as Bahrain makes his move and now is up into P8. He's going to make his way through the field.
With JC now.
Running the back. Yep.
Now using ERS, everything. He wants to get this overtake done as soon as possible. He will not get DRS on the straight, but let's watch JC's straight line speed as he uses ERS as well as JC. JC's barely catching up to him with that slipstream as well. But now Ellie will save his ERS for turn 3 straight to turn 4 and turn 10 to turn 11 DRS straights. As well, JC just gets a mighty exit over Ellie and will go down the inside. Ellie cannot defend that. The softs has so much more grip. Looks like JC made the strategy work.
JC found the right opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, Elian cannot stick with him. The mediums have no grip and also not a lot. And he doesn't have downforce. Doesn't have high downforce like JC does through turn 5, 6, 7 as well. So I think, yeah, 1.3 seconds already the gap. The softs are just way too good right now.
Absolutely, yeah, I think, is that his Vincenski that has spun around there at the exit of turn 10? I think he's back on, that's good there. But yeah, I think you're right. I think JC, he found the right opportunity to get past Elian Byn. The softs just worked out for him at the very end, but gotta say, Elian put up an amazing fight there, but it's just not enough. Also, the battle for third is continuing on. Not Sir Vapor's looking for the move on Colette, using all the ERS he can. Azaka and Bahrain there as well, but JCK in the Ferrari on his debut in LSR. Is going to come around the final corner to start on pole position.
Oh
JCK
my God!
Wins the sprint race. Oh, what happened?
I've just seen. What's that? I've just seen Merage at the perfect moment flying to a wall. I cannot tell if that was on purpose or not. He was
I think that was on purpose.
He was at a full throttle sideways into a wall.
He did it in style. He ended the race in style. Well, that makes sense because he is a Group 1 driver. Maybe he's just having some fun, and then maybe decided to retire, you know.
On the same corner as before. What's the tyre situation, by the way? Can they start on whatever tyre they want in the 50%, or they have to start the tyre they finish with? Here.
That is a great question. Yes, so I can answer that. What these drivers can do is they can start on whatever tire they choose. We may change it for next season, but I think it's going to be, for this season, we're going to keep the same pattern of the drivers starting on whatever tire they choose. So they can start in the mediums, they can start in the softs, and they can choose whatever strategy they want.
I think adding that will try and make them strategically aware of the sprint qualifying, instead of just going from like medium stuff. Like JSC made that strategy work very well, but then again, if it was added, I think it'd be a very what's the word, disadvantage to everyone else as they finish on the mediums and you finish on the softs. So I think the strategy wise, I think it is a very good idea to add it.
Yeah, agreed. I think that would be quite interesting, you know. We will most likely add that probably for the next season. We'll see how that all works out. But JCK is on top for Ferrari from 8th on the grid to 1st. We called it at the start that strategy was bold from the Ferrari driver, and it worked out. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Well done to the Ferrari driver. Elian Bain on 2nd place for him. Colette in P3 for Alfa Romeo. Not Sir Vapor scoring points for the Red Bull team. And Azuka in P5 scores 1 point for Aston Martin. Luke Tourette in P6. Ziziktas in P7. Asena in P8. Vincenski in P9. And Niki Lauda rounding off the top 10 for Alpine. But gotta say, what an amazing Bahrain Grand Prix sprint race that truly was. We now head into the official race, and I mean, if that was exciting, who knows what could happen in the next one.
Yeah,
we'll see. You know, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see what these guys can do. Can't wait for the next race as Electric Envy leaves the session. Hopefully he can rejoin, because we're not done yet. Don't leave the session, anyone, because we are not yet done. And also, I do believe Worry Cloud is trying to join us as well. He was unable to make the sprint race. He will be able to start at the very back of the field. So I'll quickly send him an invite. You guys will see a blue screen for one moment here. All right. So we are back. Thank you guys for your patience there. So before we get this race underway, you guys are probably wondering what's exactly going on. Well, what's going on is that the admins of Group 2 are getting together, and they are going to be setting the grid from the results from the sprint race. So that means whoever started on pole and all the way down will start the race. That's the starting grid for today's race. So JC will start on pole position for the 50% race. So that'll be great to see. Yeah, the admins are doing that. So in the meantime, what can we talk about? Do you have anything that you want to talk about?
The track, I guess. With the strategy, I think people are going to start on mediums and go for medium hard.
That's a great topic to cover. Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. I think medium to hard would probably be the best situation. Actually, speaking of strategy, there is a strategy that I'd like to ask you about, and your thoughts on this. This will be great, especially since this could be a strategy the drivers do try. A medium to soft, is that an option as well, besides the medium to hard? What's your thoughts on that?
It is a strategy that can get pulled off with the setup that you will be slow on, but then again, I don't know if it's worth it or not with the tyre wear. I don't think it is worth it, because the tyre wear is going to be too great to keep drivers behind at the end of the race, especially the safety car. You're going to have to pit to a new set of softs if there's a safety car, so you don't lose that many positions in the first place.
Yeah, definitely have to agree. It's going to be interesting to see what these drivers do. You know, it's super. It's going to be super interesting. You know, I think we got a very interesting grid on our hands here today with all the drivers. It's going to be really, really amazing. You know, I can't wait for this one. In terms of the strategy as well, it's going to be super, super cool to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, I think the strategies will be medium hard. I hope, otherwise they're going to have a tough time.
Definitely, definitely. I think it will be interesting to see how it goes in terms of the strategy. I think strategy can always be a little bit difficult when drivers decide to go on like a medium to soft or even a medium to hard, you know, because also the safety car can come out. Of course, here at Bahrain, we don't see any weather in terms of the rain because there's not really too much rain here in Bahrain. But it is interesting to see what these guys do in terms of strategy. It throws, to be honest, some good ideas for me when I'm racing around here.
Say that again, sorry, I was messaging someone.
Oh, I just said that the strategies that some of these guys pull, good idea for me to try this as well. I think it's a great learning experience for me. I was just saying that.
Yeah. Learn what you can, practice when you can. That's how you get better.
Exactly. Yep, so now we head into that race. We get into the 50% race. We're going to get an amazing 50% race. I mean, if that 25% sprint race was anything to prove, it just shows what the actual Grand Prix is going to be. I'm going to take a quick minute break. You're welcome to talk to the viewers, Pyro. I'll be back in 1 moment.
Okay. Don't really know what to say, to be honest. Yeah. I guess we just wait for the race to start and we'll see what drivers prove themselves in the 50% race to their strategies as well. So I think Baguette will have a superior race, making a comeback from the mistakes that happened. Who else is in here? Senna, I think he'll have a good race. Can't remember who else. Vyshensky, I think we'll do quite well. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Anything can happen in a Grand Prix.
Alright, I am back. Thank you so much for covering that one, Pyro. Appreciate that. I just have to go get some water real quickly before we continue to commentate. Yeah, what can we talk about now? Oh, actually, there is something I want to talk about. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us. Real quickly, I'll let you guys know on what is going to be happening in the future in terms of the racing. So first off, I want to say thank you to all the viewers that joined. I saw a few comments that come in, a lot of viewers that joined our live streams as well. So thank you so much. Subscribe to the LSR YouTube channel if you're watching this one right now. That'd be highly appreciated. Like the video if you enjoyed as well. We're also streaming on Pyro's YouTube channel as well. So please send him a subscribe as well. so you guys can go do all of that. But we also want to let you all know that we are going to be having another race tomorrow, Sunday. So like usual, we have our Group 2 race on Saturday. Tomorrow is Group 1. We will have a live stream from that. It's going to be our first ever live stream for Group 1 as well. So tune in tomorrow, same exact time, same exact format, different drivers. I'll be racing in that one. So just wanted to let you all know about that one.
As now we go into the race now. We'll see what drivers can do.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting into the 50% race, so great to see that. The admins have done an amazing job to get the grid all ready for the 50% race one more time in Group 2. Here today, we're going to be heading to the Bahrain Grand Prix. The main race is about to get underway. And first up, I want to ask you guys if you guys have any predictions. Send in your thoughts on that in the comments section below. Maybe who's going to win the race, podium, or anything like that. And actually, I also want to ask my co-commentator Pyro, who do you think is going to be winning this race?
I don't think you can predict a race. Like, with Baguette, he spun in the safety car. Anything can happen. You don't really expect that to happen, do you? So I think anything can happen in this race, and I think it'll be a very good race.
Definitely agree. Yeah, it's going to be great to see what happens here. Hopefully we're not getting any glitches, as it seems that wasted headspace is loading. Don't know exactly what's going on. Hopefully it's not another glitch that Codemasters has brought into the game. Oh, and he's left the session, but we get the racing underway. He's going to have to rejoin the lobby after the race is underway because of a glitch that usually happens with the game. You have to join after the formation lap and after the race starts. So, Headspace, if you're listening to this live stream, you'll have to rejoin. But yeah, we'll definitely see you in the Grand Prix. That'll be great. Okay, so we are ready to go for the official Bahrain Grand Prix. This is round 5. Wow, we've already had 5 rounds in LSR. This is Group 2, our second division in Lightning Speed Racing. The commentators for today is myself, Formula Jonah, and joining me in the commentary booth is Pyro. So we're about to get this one underway. If you're just joining us, stick around till the end of it, as we have some exciting action coming right up here today. Let me quickly do the rundown of the grid so you guys know who's in what position. So we got JCK, who put on an amazing performance in the sprint race, started 8th, starts first in today's race. He'll start on pole position with the championship leader Elliot Bine going alongside him, as there's a Red Bull spinning off there. And I think he should be able to rejoin the grid, so that'll be good as well. But yeah, moving down the rest of the grid, we got Colette in the Alfa Romeo alongside Noncer Vapor on the second row of the grid. Asuka in the Aston E5, the top 5 scored points in the sprint race. Azuka lines up alongside Luke 2 Red. Williams needs some good points in today's race to be able to outscore Aston Martin and be able to get a decent amount of gap to the British Aston Martin team. Zigdictus is in the Alpine alongside A Senna, who grabbed the podium last time out in Imola, and we'll see what he can do in today's race. He starts P8 alongside Zigdictus. Vincenski in the Alfa Romeo starts P9 alongside Nicky Lauda in the Alpine starting P10. Looking down the rest of the grid, we got Flea in the McLaren starting P11. Excited to see what he can do. Vacant in the Haas, and he's got a teammate Headspace right behind him in P13. Big Baguette and Marine 14th and 15th. Let's see what they can do. Big Baguette was P1 until that spin, so we can see him be seeing him doing some great things. And then we got Optics in the McLaren starting P16 alongside Tobias. And then we got Word Cloud, who wasn't able to make the sprint race, but is in today's race, has 2 podiums currently in LSR. Could he be going for a third here today from the back of the grid? We will find out how that all works out.
Yeah, I think we're in for a very good race here. JC, obviously, quite a bit ahead, as he's gonna... Elliot opts to start on the soft tyre. Actually, I wasn't paying attention, sorry, I was kind of doing stuff for TTML. But
no problem.
That's quite, and I saw Vicensky as well, and Baguette. I don't know how to say his name. Maringe. I'll say that. Maringe. I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's how it's
yeah,
spelled.
that's the way to say it. I usually say Bahrain.
Okay.
Yeah, he's starting the sauce. Same with Vincensky and Ellie and Bine. They're all starting the soft tires. All right, so we're ready to go for the race. Looks like the formation lap is stopped, so we're ready to get the racing underway. Here we are in Bahrain. The fiber lights are about to go out for today's LSR Grand Prix here in Bahrain. It's lights out, and away we go for racing. It's a great start for Elliot Bine, who tries to get the jump on JCK. Coming down into turn one, there's a Haas spinning off there. That's headspace off the track there, but the Ferrari of JCK is side by side with the Williams. They make a little bit of contact. The two race leaders make contact. No damage to the two, but not Sir Vapor will lead the Grand Prix. Elliot Bine and JCK make contact. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the two of them, but that did send them back a little bit. And Pyro, what was your thoughts on that collision between JCK and Elliot Bine?
I didn't really see it unfold, but I saw the end bit. I'm guessing Elian tried to cover off the inside and just scraped a bit of JCK's front wheel, and I guess he just made contact. Luckily, Elian did not spin and still kept the car, not losing many positions, both losing a position each, or 2 or 3. Yeah, JC losing 3. Elian, yeah. I can't say it was fault by his.
Stewart's may need to look into exactly what happened there. Doesn't look like there was any too much damage to the two drivers, and they'll continue the battles. Here comes Ellie and Bine on Not Sir Vapor, looking for the move down into turn 14, but isn't going to make it as Not Sir Vapor leads the Bahrain Grand Prix. Goes a little bit wide, though, as we come to the line now. He's going to start second lap of the Grand Prix, but he might not stay there, as Ellie and Bine soars past with the soft compound tires. Those tires are just much faster, as JCK is now up at a P3. Colette's going to try and fight this one back, but up at the front, Not Sir Vapor's now trying to fight Ellie and Bine. Coming down into turn 2 we go. Who's going to come out ahead as Not Sir Vapor loses the car and is off. He's off the track. Not Sir Vapor loses the car and off the track.
Was the contact?
It doesn't look like it. I think Not Sir Vapor just lost the car on the curb. Oh, is Marine and Ace Senna make contact? It looks like Marine up into P5.
Back. Yeah, Vapor having to cut every part of the track to stay out of everyone's way with that massive wing damage. Was there contact between them?
I don't think there was. I think Vapor lost it on the curb. I don't think there was any contact between the two. Oh, Tobias loses the car there at the exit of turn 3.
That's Elian and JCK back into their positions again. Didn't take them long.
They've moved up.
Yeah,
Mickey
Elian's
Loud is
soft.
out.
That could be a safety car. It's a virtual safety car. Some sort of safety car. It could turn into a safety car though still. Just 10 seconds and it can't. I don't think it will. Where was that? It was at turn 10. That's quite a weird place to crash.
Very weird. I was just about to say the same thing. I mean,
it's not on the left-hand side.
Off the curb too.
Yeah, it's not on the left-hand side. It's on the right-hand side, which is weird. Because if you spin, you go to the left more likely. Maybe crash there, but he's on the right-hand side. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think what it is that
back underway again.
That
was quick.
Very, very quick. Yeah, that was
We've got battle
extremely
underway
quick.
again. Senna trying to make another take on Marine. And Flea gets fighting time at spinning in the pit lane.
Ryan makes a mistake though. Ace Senna's coming back at the AlphaTauri.
Side by side, as Marine does keep position. Oh no, makes the position, doesn't it?
I think he keeps it off of Ace Senna. Yep, I do believe Marine keeps P5 from Ace Senna and now P6. Also,
Colette.
another news on. What were you saying?
Colette doing very well on the hards. So is Baguette. So it looks like they're going for that hard soft or maybe hard medium.
That is a very interesting strategy, to be honest. And I'm surprised that he's keeping Azarka and Bahrain behind on the mediums and the softs. So it's very surprising from the Alfa Romeo driver. Great to see, of course. He's keeping the pace up, but the DRS is going to be enabled this lap, so it's going to be hard. That is Azarka making a little mistake. Bahrain's up in P4.
To be honest, I think hards might have been the best option. Well, for Colette, his pace looks very, very good on them hards. But the hards will come into play around lap 10, 11 or 12, where the period of the degrade, I can't say the word, where they start to degrade, and that period comes in where they're faster than the softs and the mediums, where they degrade. So, now Colette has, oh my god.
Azarka!
Wow. Has a bit of a bumping and shoving there by Murray and Azarka going to turn 1. But nice overtake by, oh my, Colette losing a bit of the car with the hards, look like they're a bit grippy as a virtual safety car comes out just in time. Azarka making an aggressive overtake on them both. But
yes,
like I was saying, Colette has now a variety of strategy choices. So if there's a safety car maybe towards that lap 14, 15, he can box to the mediums. If there's a safety car around 19 to 20 to 21, he can box the softs. I think he's done very well to keep the position into 4th place as well.
Yes, I have to agree with you. I think it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. It depends on right now, because those hards are not going to be good. That's the thing, is that they're going to be hard. That's the reason why, compared to the softs and the mediums, which are much softer than the hard compound tires. So what's going to be happening is that Colette has to make sure he defends as much as possible, and then he has to make sure that he gets enough of a gap, you know? If he's going to win this Grand Prix, it's going to be a big ask for the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I think definitely will be. But I think he'll have to pull it off. But the virtual safety car looks a bit ending right now, no? Still breaking out. If they get a drive-through penalty, it's not going to help them whatsoever, is it? So we'll have to see them managing the delta, as there we go, Haddock gets a drive-through penalty. As
oh no!
Colette, Azarka and Senna actually get a lucky start going off of the corner on the exit when the virtual safety car ended, so they've got to jump on the cars by Levisinski. But here comes Azarka, another aggressive overtake with a lot of ARS still. As going down the inside, room given as Colette keeps the position. Now DRS looks at Azarka, went for the exit, and he does. Aggressive defending by Colette, but it's an easy overtake for Azarka as he keeps the inside line, doesn't move back into the racing line, which Colette is going to bounce back maybe. Doesn't get the grip that he needs on them hard tyres, which is right now he's going to be struggling. But it looks to be looking good though.
Good move from Azarka there up into P4. I think that was pretty successful. Colette defended that one, and it went well for the two of them. As Nuts Vapor leaves the session, he's already tired. Unfortunate to see that, of course, for the admin of Group 2. Oh, that is Tobias spinning off there. He's ghosted, so thank goodness, but he has spun off there. As Elian Vine now has a 2.1 second gap to JCK. That battle continues on. Marine in P3, and also I do believe Marine has now disabled his assists. He's back to his normal assists, so he's going to be very fast because he is a Group 1 driver, of course. But I do believe he's going to be retiring at the end of this one, because we want to make sure that these Group 2 drivers are scoring the needed points, of course.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's how our system works.
Yeah, it's good. I know another league that does that as well. It's respectable. But Colette now doesn't have DRS, but way too far behind the Senna. Right on his rear wing, going down the inside. Colette going to lose space once again. Looks like this is his favourite move to defend on the inside. Well, I think that might be track number 1. But Senna again with the DRS. But Colette does have DRS as well, so no overtake will be done going into turn 4. But now,
super behind the Alpha.
That's all they want to do. Colette just wants to get them hards into that period right as soon as possible.
That's exactly correct, because right now those hards are not in that period.
No runner spun the car, exit of 7, and also
and Vincenski.
Saved the car quite well actually. I don't know if that was a 360 or saved it, but now they're going side by side, the two spinners. Both gonna try, and that's wing damage, I believe, for Visensky. As Murray has full wing damage as well.
Ooh. Oh, that's a little bit too much from the pair of them. Keep it clean,
My
guys.
God. No, they don't have wing damage. But, okay. Who got wing damage? Oh, it was Tobias that AlphaTauri I saw. He has a puncture, actually.
Oh, that's why he's going slow at that section.
How has he got a puncture?
I don't know. I saw him spinning quite recently, so maybe he got those tires like super hot and then spun the car, and then like the tire degraded.
He
You
has
know, like
stopped
so
the
much.
car, though. Ghosting is on, right? Yeah, it's like a good.
Yeah,
I think
ghosting is on.
Yeah. But how has he got a puncture? Was it debris? I'm guessing it might have been from. No, I think Murray just pitting because of tire wear. He has retired actually.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Tobias doing donuts now. But I'm confused. I really want to know how he got that puncture.
Same. I'm very confused there.
The tire wear is
quite
fine.
surprising, to be honest.
There's no debris on track. But there's a yellow flag. I think that is just from Moran. But he's doing donuts right now. In turn 11.
Well, yeah, he's ghosted, so I don't think that's going to affect anyone. It shouldn't bring out a safety car. I don't think it's going to bring out anything like that.
No, if he stopped on track. Is he trying to get punctures? I think he's trying to get punctures.
Oh, no. That's not good. Oh, yeah, he's got a massive puncture at the back of the left tire there.
Yes, if he stopped on track. When you get the stop to track meter, it will bring out a safety car if one car stopped on track for long enough.
Yeah,
but he's ghosting.
I'm not sure what he's doing right now. I think he's going to try and get back to the pit lane. Hope he does, because we don't want a safety car to be called out like that. You know, that's not fair racing, of course. But Big Baguette is now. I think these hards are starting to be faster now. I think the hards have gotten to the point where they're starting to be a faster compound tires. As here comes Big Baguette on Colette. A very good move from the Ferrari driver, I gotta say. Pretty easy overtake for him as well.
Oh, Tobias still doing a nice donut. Alright, we'll move on to the front of the grid as JC is actually catching up to. Oh, there he goes. Disqualified, parked in a dangerous location. Luckily, no safety car will be brought out for that. But JC at the front now with Elian. He's catching up, so the softs look to be not doing very well. Like I said, you can take them around to lap 8 or 9, maybe even 10, but they're going to be struggling as JC looks to have so much more grip than them. Than Elian. Now DRS through this little straight. As JC's actually kept very close eye on his ERS, it looks like. He's done very well to keep it that high. As Ellie's just 30% underneath. It's not that much, but it's also not that bad of ERS, but it looks like JCK might make an overtake on the main straight, or Ellie might pit.
Yeah, it's really worked out for JCK right now. That's where Ellie doesn't have as much, and I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, Elian's tires are starting to degrade a lot. Most likely Elian will pit this lap. No, he stays out. The battle will continue.
He's going to get overtaken.
And that is the race lead that now goes to JCK, who moves now back up into P1 of the Grand Prix. Those mediums just working out for him. So JCK leads the Bahrain Grand Prix. We have oh yeah,
making
Senna and
overtakes.
Asuka.
So Baguette's trying to get in the action now. Vysensky's still not boxing with the softs as well. Looks like he's struggling quite, going deep into turn 1. But we'll look on this battle between Baguette, Asuka and Senna. Going from turn 4 to turn 5 and 6 and 7 in the second now. As Colette will want to be joining that battle actually. Both of them hard start digging in for him.
Yeah, Colette's only 5... No, not 5 seconds. That's the wrong gap. 1.9 seconds to Big Baguette. So Colette is not too far back. I think those hards aren't really working out for him, though. And Big Baguette, I think, is just right in the DRS train of Asuka and Ace Senna. So this is working out for the Ferrari driver. Asuka's got DRS. Big Baguette's got DRS. So I don't think there's going to be any moves right now between the pair of them. Ace Senna still has a pretty good gap compared to Asuka and himself. And so Ace Senna is most likely going to be in P3 for about a while now, unless Azuka is able to pull on some amazing performance in terms of straight line speed at this time. But the thing is, too, is that he doesn't have a lot of ERS. Azuka only has 11% ERS, where Big Baguette has 70. That's a massive gap in terms of DRS there.
Azuka and Senna really struggling ERS. Wow. Same with Colette is also 70%, but it looks like Baguette is going to have the massive advantage with ERS, being able to attack Azuka and attack Senna the next lap or the upcoming lap. Oh, is Azuka going to outbreak? As Baguette is going to try to go down around the outside, as he is going to hold it. Everyone getting DRS besides Senna. So I think Azuka just want to save his ERS now, maybe not go for an overtake, stick behind the third man train. As Colette is losing time now to them because of the DRS, so he'll be wanting to make time where there's not DRS zones, so he's wanting to push, but not enough to spin the car. Like I said, looks like the soft side going off. Alien trying to make them work right now, but I don't think it's working out for him. 1.4 seconds behind now.
Yeah, he's just too far back. I think those softs are just done. I think he has to pit because if he stays out for like longer than what it is right now, then he's just gonna lose the time. You know, he's gonna lose so much time. It's gonna affect his result a lot there. It's gonna be hard. I think Worry Cloud must have made a mistake or something like that.
Yeah,
there's a yellow flag
back
and he's
on track.
You saw him? Okay.
Yeah, coming back on
Does
track.
he have any wing damage or?
No, I don't think so. No. I just saw him coming back on track from turn 10. Must have cut the corner by accident, but. Yeah, I think everything worked out completely fine.
Okay, no problem there. Yep. Sometimes mistakes happen around a
Here comes
circuit
Baguette.
that's very difficult.
Very easy overtake to make on the straight. As now cuts back to the racing line to take turn 1 as he wanted to. Senna will try and get an exit, maybe make an overtake to turn 4 on the medium tyre, and doesn't get the exit that he wants, but gets the better exit out. Also with the ERS, he's using all of it. Now only down to 30%, we're from 70 to 30 in a matter of 3 laps or 2 laps. That's how difficult it is to keep ERS on this track. But, oh, JCK is doing a great job of it.
Yeah, it's been great to see the ERS management from a lot of these guys on the grid. It's been a really, really tough ask for these guys to save ERS, especially in these intense battles that we have seen throughout the racing here today. Yeah, they've done really well to manage it. Ace Senna is looking for the move on Big Baguette. I think those mediums still have a lot of pace, but the hards are starting to creep into the zone where they're going to be faster than the mediums. Azuka is right there as well. He's a little further behind Ace Senna, but he is there. But the question really is where's Colette's pace right now? Do you think Colette is going to start chasing after Azuka at this time? Do you think he's going to start gaining a lot of time? Or maybe those hards just really aren't working out for him right now?
I think they need to come into maybe a couple laps later on for them to get the pace. But it looks like Baguette has just got more pace than Colette on the hards. I don't think Colette is comfortable with the hard tyre. It looks like comfortable earlier, but maybe because they're degrading a bit more. His period is not coming as Elliot finally comes into pits on them soft tyre. We'll see what he goes to. I think he's going to the mediums. He is. He's going for the soft medium strategy. He's going to try and make it work. 17 laps on them mediums. I think he's wanting to. Let's see what JCK does. He's also starting. He started on fresh mediums as well. So let's see what lap he goes to, and let's see. And I think. Who is it? Who bid? Elian will want to be looking how far JCK makes it on the mediums, because he's in no worry to like be uncomfortable in his position, because he's in P1. He's got 9 seconds to the gap, and nobody's boxed besides Elian and Vizensky and Zedikus. So I think he's going to be looking just to make the tyres last as long as possible and because softs at the end. Like I said, Elian made the softs last 11 seconds. I know they wasn't as fast towards the end of the stint. I think he can make that gap work at the start of the stint for JCK.
Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting in terms of tyre wear. I think Elian's going to want to make sure he gets past the other drivers, because he's just got past his teammate here. Elian now up at a P8. Next up is Optics in the McLaren, and then Worry Cloud. So I think Elian has to push as much as possible, because once JCK comes into the pit lane, most likely onto the softs, Elian's gotta hope that a safety car comes out.
Elian's got a massive undercut because he's on the fresh and medium, so he will gain a lot of time to JCK. So, they look to be on similar pace, like throughout overall on this track. They look to have similar pace. So I think Elian will be fast at the moment because of the 12-lap fresher tyres. We just have to wait and see, as he's not going to make another take on optics at the moment, but maybe a bit of contact on the rear, trying to get a good exit. Will get DRS now. Around the outside as optics defends very aggressively, cutting him off. We'll go around the outside now. Hopefully no contact. As there is contact, and there's optics spun. I think that was not Elian's fault. Elian did leave a lot of space there. I think optics just missed his braking point, I believe.
Well, it looks like, I mean, you didn't lose too much time there. It could go down as a racing incident, not exactly sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure the Evans will look into that. But he's only lost 5 seconds, so it's not too much of a worry, but of course it is not the best. Another question to ask for you, and let's talk about Azarka, who's just been onto the soft compound tires. Now, he is definitely not making that to the end of the race, but what strategy do you think he's going for?
What did he box on before? What was he on before mediums?
Softs, I do believe. Oh no, he was on mediums. Medium, sorry.
Medium. Medium, soft, soft?
Kind of looks like that, to be honest.
15 laps on the softs is punch territory.
Yeah, I don't think he can do softs for 15 laps. Maybe 11 laps?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the limit there.
That's now people going to pits as Elian gets a massive undercut on all these drivers, Ascena and Cloud. As he's looking to chase down Colette, Baguette and JCK. JCK will go into the softs in about 4 to 5 laps time, which I think he will be able to make. But he's going to struggle on these mediums towards the end.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
as Azarka makes the overtake on Senna.
Oh yeah, these two were battling for, what was it, P4, I think, in the race, and they've rejoined each other on track. Asen has come out on the hards, Azarka on the soft, so Azarka's going to have a massive pace difference between himself and Asena. So we'll see how that all works out. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of strategy Azarka's going to be going for. And then also JCK, when he's going to pit, that is going to question, when is he going to pit? I think it's going to be probably around lap 17, lap 18, that's probably where he's going to be pitting.
Between lap 18 and 21, where he wants to pit. He also needs to watch for the gap on Elian.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he could go for softs. You know, I think that's the best strategy right now.
No, he will. Yeah, pit. He's going for softs. He would have boxed the hards already if he was. But
good point. Okay.
I don't think he needs to worry about the gap that much, but he will want to look at it every now and again and see the undercut that Elian has got, as he goes 3/10 faster than his previous lap. But then again, JCK will be on the soft tyre at the end of the race and at the start of his stint, as Azarka says the fastest lap, so them softs are working out for him, but they will not get to the end of the race whatsoever. So maybe a soft.
I think that the battle between Elian and JCK is going to be pretty close in terms of where JCK will come out. He might come out right behind Elian. If Elian pushes like a little bit more, I think he could come out behind. But the thing is, he's going to be on the softs, and he's going to be much faster. And I think we're going to see a titanic battle between the two. And not just this race, but throughout the season as well. I mean, we got Elian and JCK on similar pace. For Group 2 Championship, maybe they could be going for. And then also we have the other drivers that aren't able to make the race today. Electric Envy and Hella High, both drivers that are also battling for the championship as well. So I think we're going to get an epic championship fight between these drivers. And of course, maybe if Baguette and Colette become full-time drivers as well, we could see another two in that battle as well. Azarka's just starting out. Asena coming in. Rory Cloud. This is going to be super intense in terms of the championship fight for Group 2. Can't wait to see what happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, right now we got the two Ferraris leading us away. Big Baguette, of course, reserving for Ferrari today, but we'll, of course, count him as a Ferrari driver
as well. So, it looks like the Ferraris will be on charge. I don't think they're not close enough to double stack. They're 10 seconds, 9 seconds bit in between, so I think they'll be okay to box on the same lap, but I think Baguette might go a bit further to get them fresher softs towards the end of the race. But again, also with the soft tyre, if Elliot keeps up with JCK while he's on the softs, like maybe just sticking DRS a lot, try and stay within 2 seconds. As soon as them softs go off, he charges at JCK. He has to. That's the only way he can win the race. As we'll see the gap now, it is 22.3 seconds. He hasn't closed down the gap.
He needs to. This is it right here. This is the battle for the race win. This is exactly, I think what you just said there is exactly what needs to happen. Elian needs to get, I'd say, to around 18 seconds to be able to get that gap. And then once JCK comes out, most likely he's going to pass Elian. I think we can confirm that JCK will most likely pass Elian in terms of the tire wear and all that sort of thing. But what you said is crucial for Elian. If he can stay within 2 seconds to JCK, once those tires drop off, then Elian mounts a charge on that Ferrari driver, and then we'll see an incredible championship fight between those two drivers for the win here today in Bahrain. It's going to be epic to see what these drivers can do as we have Colette into the pit lane as we are talking about tire strategy.
Will he go into the softs? It's quite early for the softs. 12 laps on them. Ellie only did 11. He got into mediums. I would have expected him to go a bit. Yeah, I feel expecting him to maybe go like 15 or 16, but I think he went for a massive overcut, which I don't think is going to work out for him. As he's just going to be coming out just in front of Visensky, maybe a couple of seconds. But I don't know.
He'll come out ahead of his teammate. So that's good for Colette. And now I think the challenge for him is to chase down Asena and Azuka, and for that
Ellie
battle
the gap down. He's in 20 seconds now, so he will overtake JCK at the moment for the pits. But he needs to get that gap down more.
He needs to get it below 18 seconds. That's what needs to happen, I think. He gets that 4-second gap. Then if a safety car comes out, this will be perfect for him. Maybe even pitting onto the softs could be an option. But at least if he gets a moment to be able to go up there. As Zagdictus leaves the session, I think he was further down the field. So it's unfortunate to see that, of course. But that's the way it goes on racing sometimes. So what we're seeing on track is JCK coming on to the 18th lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix on 17-lap old medium compound tires. He's got a teammate, Big Baguette, a further 7 seconds behind, and Elliot Bine now has that gap down to 19.7 seconds. I think what we've been saying is he needs to get that gap down to at least into the 17s to be able to, I think, mount a charge on that driver. We will see how that all works out. It's going to be interesting. But besides the battle for P3, we also have the battle for P4 in today's race. Azuka, Asena, and Colette in that battle for 4th. We could see a very, very intense battle there. Also, Vincenski and Worried Cloud and Luke 2 Red all in that battle for P7 in today's race. So mini battles going on here between different sets of drivers. All points to play in this race. Worried Cloud still in contention for that championship. For Mercedes, they need some good points in today's race. Pepe wasn't able to come today.
Oh no!
Is that it?
That's Elian.
Oh no!
That's Elian spun round at turn 8. No wing damage, I believe. But that is
it.
That's it. That's secured JCK his victory. If he doesn't spin.
Oh my goodness, what drama here in Bahrain. Elian Bayan, the driver that was in contention for the race victory, is now down to P5. It could still be P3 for him, but this has just blown the doors all the way open as JCK has most likely seen that and has come into the pit lane and said, oh, okay, thank goodness for that, that Elian has come as spun it. He now has a little bit of, I'd say, a sigh of relief now that he has that a big enough gap, I think, to come out ahead of his rival in today's race. But Elian's not giving this up anytime soon. He's going to be right in the back of these guys as well. And what's interesting as well is that JCK is going to come out right ahead of Azurka, but Azurka, we know, can make some overtakes. They're on similar tire wear, so we could see a nice little battle for P2. And if they make just a tiny bit of contact, that brings Elian Bine back into the action.
It does, it does, it does.
really does. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Of course, JCK's now, I mean, he's got that gap to around 1 second, I'd say.
Asuka's tires are already dying, to be honest. They're going to be already. 5 laps. I reckon he's on 30% already.
I agree. I think that's where it's at right now. And the thing is, too, is that I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end of the race.
He won't.
10 more laps, which puts him on 15-lap-old soft tires. I mean, that's a really big ask.
It's so unfortunate for Elliott.
I know, right? He did everything today. Of course, it's not over for the Williams driver, but it's a big...
Yeah, he's only... what? Well, actually, he's 9 seconds behind. Ish. Yeah, 9 seconds behind.
Pretty big gap in F1 terms.
Yeah, it is, but JC, if he makes one little mistake and spins, Ilian will have him.
Agreed. Yeah, and someone else that also will have him too is Big Baguette, who is still in contention for the race win here today.
How far is he going to come out behind? Around 10 seconds. He's just going to come in front of Elian. Elian will get DRS though, I believe. He does. Baguette doesn't, but again, Baguette's on softs. I don't think Elian will keep up.
Yeah, I mean, if Elian wants to chase down JCK, which is looking more and more unlikely, he'll need to overtake Big Baguette, and we know Big Baguette is very strong, so I think Big Baguette will be trying to make a move on a Senna in the next lap. So we'll see how that all works out. Another driver we should probably talk about and mention here is Colette E42, who's on the medium compound tires. He's starting to gain a little bit of time on Elian Bine. He's got less tire wear than the Williams driver. I think he could be going for a P3, P4 here. I think that's where he's going to be. As Big Baguette is already making the move on a Senna. There goes the Ferrari driver up into P3. Now he makes the move on the Red Bull and has now moved his car up into 3rd place. So what can we talk about right now? I think the biggest talking points is how long will Asuka's tires last? You know, he's on 6-lap-old soft tires. Will those tires get into puncture territory as JCK sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix? Oh, he's just pit.
Yeah, okay, well, he's good for the soft.
Interesting. Now, the question is where he's going to come out. Is he behind Vincenski, who's exiting the final corner now, or will he come up right behind the Alpha?
I believe he will, but he's on softs again, so...
Oh, but he's already trying to make the move on Vincenski, who goes a little bit wide, and Asuka is going to get up into P6. Good move from the Aston Martin, puts himself up into P6, but Vincenski's coming back at the Aston Martin. But he is a little further behind. Those softs are just going to be a much faster tire. And the question now is, 12.4 seconds, is it possible to chase down the race leaders?
12.4? Probably not.
Okay, well, we'll see how it works out.
I don't think he will. The leaders on softs, it looks like it'll be Ferrari 1-2.
I agree. I think there's I mean, right now, I think it's either going to be, for the podium, it's going to be the 2 Ferraris, I think. And then I think it's either going to be Colette or it's going to be Asuka in P3. Or Elian Bine. Elian Bine might grab P3 in today's race. We're unsure about that, though. So, Big Baguette just set the fastest lap of the race. Great to see that from the Ferrari driver. We're kind of at a standstill point where there's not too many overtakes. It's all about strategy at this point, viewers. And while we have this opportunity, I just want to let you guys know that we still have that race tomorrow for the Group 1 Championship, so definitely go check that out. Also, next time out in Group 2, we'll be heading to Canada for the final race in 2021. Then we'll have our holiday break. Happy holidays to everyone, as it is December. So happy holidays. But yes, we do have the Canadian Grand Prix Round 6 of the championship event. Then we return to the track in January, as we have a pretty long holiday break. We have a mid-season break and then we return to racing in Britain for round 7. But next up is Canada. Pyra, I'm sure you've driven that track. What's your thoughts on that race, and how do you think these drivers will fare at the Canadian Grand Prix?
No. Do not ask me about Canada, please.
Does it not suit you?
No, I hate the track. But
oh, really?
I think, well, I haven't driven it this game. Maybe time trial a tiny bit. But last game, oh my god, it was a nightmare. But I believe the curbs have been bettered. And it is more smooth, but I'll probably try out the track a couple times again. But last time I did it, I did not want to do it again.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion on the track, last year's game was terrible. I gotta agree with you on that. I think the track was just so difficult to drive, especially in not having accuracy compared to the real life. But this game, they've really improved it a lot. I think it's really fun to drive the track. It's, I gotta say, probably top 5 for me in terms of racetracks, just because of how flowing it is. I don't know, I quite like it.
It is quite good.
Oh, that is.
I think I'd reckon to rather drive it on wheel than controller.
Really?
Yeah, because of how flowing it is. Yeah. I think the curbs will just suit it, really, because you can do them quite a bit, and also with the fast chicanes. So I think it's quite easy to rotate as well with a wheel. So I might practice a bit on wheel with the Canada.
Very interesting. All right, so yeah, great to hear your take on the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll see what happens in the real-life LSR race, of course, or not real life, but the virtual Grand Prix that we're going to have in LSR for both divisions in Lightning Speed Racing. So we'll see how that all works out. A few little announcements while we have this break, actually, if viewers, you do not mind. We have an upcoming event. We haven't really announced it on our Discord yet, but on the 10th of December, we'll be entering into a 10v10 league race. That will be on the 10th of December, like I did mention. So go support LSR. We'll put out some announcements and all that sort of thing on that, because we'll have 2 of our drivers from the league racing in that. We'll also announce all the information on that in the future. Also want to just mention thank you all for joining us so far. Send in a few comments, your thoughts maybe on the race and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I guess now what do we talk about? Do you think maybe, has there been any change in terms of the gaps that you're seeing on track, or anything you wanted to mention?
Baguette is actually catching up to JC quite a bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough in the next 5 laps to do something. So I think it will be a Friday 1-2. But Elian is catching up to Senna, but Senna is on the fresher tyres, but on a hard compound, so.
Yes, Senna's tires are probably working out, I'd say. I mean, they didn't seem to be working out earlier, but that's just the stage of the hard tires. But it seems like he's found the rhythm of those hards, and I think he could be going for back-to-back podiums here. I think Senna could be going for another podium here in LSR, which would be great. He scored his first podium in the league in Imola. He became, let's see, the 5th different driver, I do believe, to score a podium in the Group 2. And he'll be possibly taking another podium. We will see how that all works out. Elian Bayan has scored many different podiums. He scored the win last time out in Imola, scored the win in Belgium in our first round. He's looking to possibly take another podium as well. We'll see how that all works out.
Yeah, I think it will work out quite well for Elian right now, but I don't think he'll be able to catch up for Senna.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a huge, I mean, right now he's got that gap down to 2 seconds. He's just got a few laps remaining. If he's going to get on the podium, he's going to have to fly through the field. And so that's a huge ask. You can see him just in the distance while we're riding on board with the Red Bull of Senna. But it's going to be really big for Elian to try and make that move.
Yeah. Yeah, the gap doesn't look coming down, so I don't think it's going to happen for him.
I agree. I think it's going to be it's going to be hard. We'll see how it all works out. I think it will be I mean, like we haven't mentioned, it's a big ask for Elian to to try and make that move on Ace Senna. We will find out how that all works out. But two things we should probably mention. One thing is driver of the day. Viewers, you can vote down in the comments down below who your driver of the day was, and we do this in the league. It's just a fun thing that we like to do, so if you guys want to do that, definitely do that down in the description, down in the comment section below. If you guys want to join our Discord as well, if you guys want to join the league, down in the description down below, there'll be a link to our Discord, so definitely go check that out. That would be highly appreciated. But one more thing I want to mention, and I want to get your take on this as well, the championship. We have a very close championship between Ellie and Bayern, who's currently leading the championship, and Hella High, and I do believe Electric Envy. But can you maybe give us your thoughts on that championship fight, and what driver do you think is maybe going to be on top after this season?
I don't really know, to be honest.
It's a big question. I mean, no one can really predict who's going to be on top.
But today, it's JCK's debut. No one would have expected it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a brilliant drive by him. He's got pole from 8th on the grid. He's now most likely going to win this Grand Prix. If he continues this pace, he might be able to win this championship. But that's huge, because Ellie and Bayern has got a lot of points to his name. So JCK has to basically win the next couple of races, and then he'll be in contention.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Definitely.
It looks like the gap is coming down for Ellie and Senna.
It is. You're right.
1.3
seconds.
Yeah. I don't know, because the hards might come into crossover where they're better than the mediums.
I mean, yeah, I think you're definitely correct there. But I mean, also at the same time, do you think the hards would have already gotten into that point? I mean, it seems like that Elian is starting to find a little bit of pace against Ace Senna here. And look at that, he's got it down to 1.2 now. He's using everything.
Yeah, we're coming to the final 3 laps of this race now. It looks like, oh my, we've got 2 little battles about to go on. Maybe Baguette might be able to catch up to JC. He's brought it down in 2.5 seconds. And Elliot is now brought to 1.1. I don't think it's going to be enough for Baguette though.
Yeah, I think he's only got 2 more laps to go.
Yeah, look at the ERS.
Oh yeah, massive difference. Yeah, I think that's just given. I think the ERS alone has just proven that JCK most likely will win the race. But we've said some stuff where those have been proven wrong. You know, I think in previous streams in LSR and just in league racing in general, sometimes us commentators say like, this driver's going to win the race, but in Formula 1 and in league racing, anything exactly, it's unpredictable.
But I think this one you can predict. If JC doesn't spin, he's won the race.
Yes.
Yeah, 50% more ERS, 2.1 seconds still the gap. So Elian is also losing his gap to Senna.
Yeah, I think Ace Senna's tires have actually come into the point where they are those fast, I call them the ultra soft tires from 2018 because they seem like they're super fast, to be honest.
Yeah, for a hard compound, yeah. They definitely are fast. Especially when they're in that period.
Oh yeah, and the thing is too, is those hard speed only last for like, I'd say, I don't know, 6 laps or something like that. That's why Lewis Hamilton and like other drivers that are on like 20% old or 20 lap old hards are always set like the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
This is exactly why. Because they're going to a point where the outer layer is literally just ripped off. And then they literally come into play with a softer bit in the middle. So it's literally like a soft tyre once that outer layer goes away.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of the hard compound tires.
It's like and yeah, the hard compound it's a difficult tyre at the start, especially when they're cold. But it's like in Turkey in real life, like the interslick tyres, the intermediates. Lewis Hamilton tried to go the full race, and he literally turned into a soft and wet tyre. Like, you go that long on a tyre, it actually degrades enough where you can get a lot of grip.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly correct. That just proves it right there. That with the Turkish Grand Prix in 2021 or 2020, Lewis Hamilton was able to do that, and that just proved just the tire performance. It was a really weird situation, to be honest.
But Baguette has actually brought the gap down to just under a second. But I don't think it's enough. He's done very well to get that gap down from about 5 or 6 seconds just to 9/10ths of a second. But the ERS difference is a lot. And, well, it looks like that's going to be it unless JCK makes a final minute. He does lift a lot through that corner. He's taking it very cautiously. Last minute mistake from any of these drivers. But it looks like, yeah, Baguette, JCK will take the win.
If he had one more lap, I think Big Baguette could have got it, but he doesn't have a lap. So JCK is gonna win his first race. He made his debut here in Bahrain, and he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. He becomes another race winner in Group 2. Incredible to see that. He becomes the third different race winner in Group 2. JCK wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Ferrari haven't really had the pace this season, as some of the drivers weren't able to attend the races, but look where they are now. P1 and P2. What an incredible job they have done here today, as JCK wins the Grand Prix. Big Baguette scores a podium. Congrats to him as well. And Ace Senna returns to the podium for Red Bull. Congrats to see him back up on the podium. It's back-to-back podiums for the Red Bull team as they score another podium, and that will most likely put them ahead of Mercedes in the championship and get Red Bull a lot of points in that one as well. What an incredible race here in Bahrain.
Yeah, that was really good. Really, really good.
Wow, yeah, incredible race here today. It didn't really go Elian Bynes' way, I gotta say. He had a great race on the sprint race, and the first part of the start of the race worked out really well for him, but it seemed that spin just affected everything. It is still P4, and he will still contain his championship lead. I think he just would have liked to score more points.
Definitely, as a championship leader, you want to score as much points as possible, especially when your rivals are not racing.
Yes,
like, where
exactly.
What was his name? The other championship. No, the other one. The one that actually left. Envy. Yeah, he left. So he didn't actually race as well with Hella High. So Elian was looking for that win, but I guess the strategy with JCK and Baguette works very, very well.
Yeah, it worked out for them. It just wasn't Williams' day today. They still scored some mega points for the team, so that's great to see as well. But this is the guy that scores the win. He lifts the trophy. JCK is on top for Scuderia Ferrari as he lifts the trophy. Ferrari back on top in LSR as they score another win, as they'll continue to press through the field. It's a 1-2 for Ferrari's Big Baguette. The reserve driver scores P2, and Ace Senna is on the podium for Red Bull as well. He's going to score some mega points for the team.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race.
Definitely exciting. Yep, it was a great race here today in LSR. Driver of the day, that's the question. I mean, Big Baguette started P14, finished second. But what's your thoughts on driver of the day? Who impressed you the most?
If you look at the grid, it has to be Baguette. I look at the grid, 14th to second place, fastest lap, brought the gap down from 5 seconds to just 6/10. He's done a brilliant race. And also brilliant battles through the midfield as well, like from 5th to 8th. There was quite good racing. Still lucky for the spinners that have DNF'd in the race.
Yeah, gotta agree with you. I think there was a lot of great racing there. I think these guys put up an amazing performance, as they always do in Group 2. Yeah, just this incredible job by everyone here today. Gotta agree with you on Big Baguette. He did a great job. Fastest lap, and from 14th to 2nd place. That's an incredible job from him. He scores a podium. I think he'll be very happy with that one. Otherwise, the podium, great battles throughout the entire field. Great to see, especially in our smaller tier in LSR. LSR. When we first started out Group 2, it was meant to be the drivers coming into LSR. It was supposed to be the smaller tier, and it's come up to be a pretty large tier of great racing, great racers, and yeah, can't wait to see what happens with this tier in the future.
Yeah, can't wait to commentate again, actually. It's very, very good racing, and Canada next, if it is, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
It is Canada next. Yeah, we love to have you back, of course, Pyro. Great commentary, as always, and can't wait to be commentating with you in the future, because it was a lot of fun to commentate with you.
Yeah, you too. Alright, well, guess that is it.
That is it. Yep. We're going to sign off from LSR here today. Thank you to all the drivers that raced. Thank you to all the admins that helped out to get the league and get the tier sorted out and everything like that. These guys do an incredible job. Thank you to all the drivers, like I mentioned. And thank you to Pyro as well for commentating with us. Great to see you in the booth here in LSR, and can't wait for the future events we do. So that's going to be it from here today at Lightning Speed Racing. Did you have any more thoughts before we sign off?
No, I think we've covered about everything.
Sounds good. Yep, completely agree. So that is going to be it from LSR Lightning Speed Racing. This was the Group 2 event, and this was round 5 of the Season 1 Championship event for the Bahrain Grand Prix in Group 2. We will see you next time.